Good day to our lecturers. We are from Group 1. Today, we are going to present a case study about one company called Uber. Uber is a smartphone app that allows passengers to help vehicles virtually. Uber serves as an electronic dispatcher as passengers and drivers connected digitally through its software. When the passenger requires a ride, he can access to driver names, car models, and ratings. Based on the informations, the passengers can accept or decline the ride. The drivers will arrive in a few minutes if the passengers accepted. After the ride was complete, the passengers and drivers could rate each other on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. Uber has promoted its products on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and its websites. Uber also uses campaigns to connect with customers and promote its brands. Besides that, Uber also launched its various services where the passenger could ask to deliver their pets, flowers, ice cream, and so on. Uber also used TV and radio spots to recruit drivers and defend its business model. Uber has many competitors, such as taxis and other rental cars. Ubers and taxis are substitute goods. This will make the rental car compare its price with each other. After that, Uber's price is not fixed. Uber will charge a very high fee when there is a high demand for the passenger. Besides that, Uber has a lot of service. At the same time, it will increase the opportunity cost of the companies.
My name is Tan Fei and my machine number is 278603. Now I will start to brief about problem statement and recommended solutions. The first problem statement is, what impact does the price differential between Uber and its competitors have on the market? Compared to other car rental business, Uber didn't stand out as much. Uber's disparities aren't between drivers and customers. When it comes to transportation service, Uber is unique in that it provides drivers and riders with Uber apps instead of traditional rental car service like taxi. Furthermore, Uber's fares are cheaper than the market rate for transportation service. However, this short-term pricing war tactic will only benefit clients, but not in the long run. Uber's usual fare is unchanged during periods of strong demand, but the fare rises to a higher price during periods of low demand. Uber was in fact losing clients. Those with lower incomes would prefer a less expensive and more convenient mode of transportation over the more expensive one. As a result of this guiding philosophy, there is no discernible price difference between Uber and its rivals. Uber's surge pricing occurs when the cost of a ride is higher than typical. Whenever there are more passengers than drivers available in a particular location, the surcharge is automatically applied. Riders' need to maintain reliability and restore balance will vary as a result of this throughout time. The rider will be made aware of the higher price when surge pricing is in place. There will be riders who choose to pay, and there will be riders who opt to wait till the price reduces once more. As an example, the surge pricing for fares will rise if there is an increase in customer demand at 12 a.m. However, as the number of drivers on the route increase, the cost of fare will fall until they return to their previous level. As a result, at the same price, the number of clients will increase. Customers are less likely to use Uber when the price of fare is at a peak pricing because of the income effect and the substitution effect. In terms of the income effect, this examines the impact on the disposable income of spending on goods with increased cost. Customers may not be able to afford the fare at a higher rate than normal, which will result in a decrease in demand. This focuses on the effect of higher price relative to other options in order to determine the substitution effect. It is cheaper to use other modes of transportation if Uber's fares are higher than those of other modes of transportation. Customers, in the end, will choose the most cost-effective utility maximization option that maximizes their utility at a reduced price. Regarding to this problem, we have several recommended solutions. Uber's app system should be improved so that it can offer multiple types of Ubers at various prices. In this way, users may compare the many types of Uber at different price of fare so that they can maximize their utility at the lowest possible cost. By choosing Uber instead of a taxi or another form of public transit, demand for Uber will be reduced, while at the same time, additional customers will be attracted. As an additional option, consumers can choose which Uber they want to use. Uber's location can be seen on the app, because it has a GPS connection. Customers have the freedom to choose which Uber stops are closest to where they are, thereby cutting down on wait times. As an incentive to their clients, Uber should offer rebates 10 ringgit or discounts of up to 10% on a specific day. It has the potential to both increase sales and improve consumer happiness. This is because they have less spending restraint on their hand. Consequently, Uber's low fares can help clients maximize their utility by lowering the cost of transportation. That's all from me. Thank you. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
My name is Fajay and my machine number is 27926. Now I will talk about the second problem statement and the recommended section. The second problem statement is Uber cannot randomly test their fare. It will cause the demand of competitor taxi to increase. This because both of them are substitution good. As we can know, taxi and Uber use distinct approaches to demand fare. For taxi, the way of calculating fare is to adjust passenger based on time and distance calculated by the taxi meter. It is clearly displayed in the vehicle. For instance, the fare starts at 350 cents per month for the first 5 months, and at fare level per month after that. But Uber is not permitted to charge the passenger according to the time added distance, because there is not taxi meter. So the fare of Uber typically calculated at a pre-agreed minimum price based on time or estimated distance. Besides that, taxi and Uber are substitution good because both types of vehicle have efficiency, which is to deliver passenger from one destination to the final destination. However, the taxi fare goes up, the passenger will push cheaper Uber fare to replace taxi. In the case when taxi fare increases and Uber fare remain constant, the quantity remainder for Uber will increase. Then this causes that the remainder curve of Uber shifts to the right. In addition, there is also a cost price elasticity of demand relation between taxi and Uber. This is due to taxi and Uber are saturated, so the cost price elasticity of demand will be positive. So the recommended solution is Uber should be more careful in terms of offering varying price for a single period of time. This situation can be overcome by Uber securing more rational drivers to transport passengers at peak time. At the same time, Uber also need to ensure the supply of drivers equal the demand for the number of passengers under equilibrium conditions. As Uber must set its own fare depending on the time. For example, Uber can try to offer some particular discount code to passengers in order to make sure their fare is lower than the fare of taxi. So, if some passengers think Uber fare is too high than before, then they can activate the discount code offer. With that, the affordable pricing will satisfy the need of passengers. As is, Uber drivers need to always ensure that they pick up time on time and pick up easily. It's because when passengers are satisfied with Uber service for the first time, then they are willing to accept it again. As a result, the quantity demand of Uber will increase. That's all. Thank you.
Good day to everyone, I'm CAIPING here, and I'm going to continue the case study with the third problem statement. In this case study, the Uber have the high opportunity cost. Why do we say that the Uber have the high opportunity cost? Okay, let's dissect the questions in details first. As we all know that the Uber is a pickup service for the passengers whenever they need to take a ride to somewhere. Thus, it is the primary services that provided by Uber. Next, the Uber Eats and the Uber Rush are the subsequent services that provided by Uber in 2014. The Uber Eats is a food delivery platform that partnership with the restaurants. Meanwhile, Uber Rush is an on-demand delivery services connected shared economy occurs with business and individuals who need to schedule on-demand pickups and deliveries. And the problem is that the number of the Uber driver in the market is limited. So how are they going to divide themselves into three different individuals to earn the same profits from all three services? All the services that are provided by Uber is using the same pool of drivers to run the business, which is also the main reason that causes the opportunity cost is very high, because the Uber driver can only accept one order at a time to perform his task. And now we are going in detail to discuss about the characteristic of each services. For the Uber, which we can call it as a classic Uber, since Uber is mainly operating its business through picking up the passengers, there is nothing else can be compared to its value, so let's put it aside first. And moreover, for the Uber Eats and Uber Rush, there occurred a comparison between them. Then firstly, the Uber Eats, it was paying described that it generated more profits to Uber and also a core product that can increase the Uber's revenue. Through the agreement of charging delivery fees with certain amount by delivering the products, it makes the Uber Eats earns a lot of profits. And furthermore, the market demand of Uber Eats can be easily predicted because it has many users. Next, the Uber Rush is not a core product for the Uber to generate its revenue since it has less users, and also its market demand is unpredictable because it is hard to get the information from the users. So, from all perspectives and angles, the Uber Eats sounds more beneficial than the Uber Rush, right? And then, let's imagine that what if Uber using a driver to run Uber Rush instead of transporting people and food. So, of course, it will create a high opportunity cost. So how can we solve the problem for Uber? Here are two recommended solutions for Uber. The first is that we recommended the Uber to close down the Uber Rush. Since it is not profitable and having an unpredictable demand market, the Uber can choose to close down the Uber Rush in terms of reducing the opportunity cost and increase the revenue. The second recommended solution is that the government should set a maximum price of the Uber Rush fees, because when the price drops, the demand will increase, hence the market demand will exceed the supply. When the government set a minimum price, there will also occur disequilibrium in the market. Government can subsidize the Uber to adjust the market disequilibrium back to the equilibrium state. By doing this, the government is also helping to promote the technology growth in the country because nowadays the use of the electronic gadgets has been increased. Government can surely help itself to develop its own country by supporting the Uber. In this case, the Uber Rush and Uber Eats don't have to shut down. This is a win-win situation.
My name is HOOI and my metric number is 279069. So I will continue to discuss the problem of segment 4, which is the Uber search pricing. In this discussion, we will discuss what is the search pricing and what is the effect of search pricing and the causes that reflect the disadvantage of the search pricing. So, what is search pricing? Search pricing is a feature of the Uber pricing model that increase rate when the passenger demand exceeds the driver supply. So why search pricing? Search pricing is essential in a way that it helps matching the driver effort with the demand from customer. It ensures that the driver are not idle or roaming around the city searching for a potential customer. So what is the effect of the search pricing? Firstly, the search pricing will reduce the demand for cars. Secondly, the search pricing will create a new stream of supply. And lastly, the search pricing will shift the supply of driver to area of high demand. And we will proceed to the case that reflect these advantages of the search pricing, which is in 2014, an ongoing hostage crisis in Sydney. And the car-hailing app, which is the Uber, have catch flack from its user for charging as much as 4 times as the normal fare and added on the outrageous around $82 as the minimum base fare. In this case, that we can apply it to the modeling of the search pricing, as we can see in the graph, which is less supply of the driver. This will cause the search price of fare kick in and furthermore will increase. As a result, the quantity will drop due to the higher searching price set by the Uber. And now we will proceed to the recommended solution. The recommended solution to solve this problem is, firstly, the Uber should reduce the volatility of the price fluctuation. Secondly, Uber should market the beneficial consequence of search pricing to the reader. Last but not least, the Uber should rebrand the search pricing concept. And that's all from me, and I will pass to my partner.
In conclusion, the fare of Uber is higher than at a normal time. The Uber search pricing occurs. As a result, this problem has already affected the market competition with competitors such as taxi and rental car. To overcome this problem, Uber can update their different type of apps system at a reasonable price. It is easier for customers to compare the type of the Uber at different fare price, and they can choose the lowest price to achieve their utility maximization. Besides, Uber cannot randomly raise their fare, and it will cause the demand for competitors to increase. This is because both of them are substitute goods. If Uber price increase, the quality demanded by taxi will increase and vice versa. To overcome the higher price, Ubers must fix their price based on time and ensure it is below a taxi price. Lastly, Uber has a high opportunity cost because they have many services simultaneously. In order to solve this problem, Uber should cost down Uber Rush to reduce the high opportunity cost and increase the revenue. The government also set a higher maximum price of the fares that Uber charge the customer. When the price drops, the quantity will increase. So that is all from us. Thank you for watching.